I like to keep things in the form of riddles. You know that, right? So I want people to come back to me for unraveling the mysteries. So
a non-invasive psychosomatic surgery.
Yeah, and Soumya, there's the way this chart came to me. It had only 3 zones. The last one I added, enlightenment zone, and that's why I did not write points, because there is a lot to discuss about this. And
there's no really form. There's no form of enlightenment. It's infinity. You can't describe infinity. It just keeps going.
We can just make an approach, right? Tend towards infinity, as we say in mathematics. And
undefined.
And about being enlightened or getting enlightened, see, the thing is very simple. I can get enlightened through someone who himself or herself is enlightened, right? Through a true master only I can reach that stage. I need guidance, right?
Need guidance for enlightenment? Of course, yes.
Yeah, we need.
Through things like these, through digestion of these charts, internalization rather. Yes.
And in this regard, like this connection, somebody said something like this: if you want to master something, teach it. The more you teach, the better you learn. Teaching is a powerful tool to learning. How does it sound?
Oh, I think I'm a great admirer of this
quote,
of this quote and thought, and again the line of what it is trying to go to. I really embrace it. So I'll give you an example. So basically, and it actually connects really well with the point of how competition is so unproductive and how collaboration can lead to progress. Because actually, when you teach, of course, you're imparting knowledge to someone else who's sitting in front of you. But much more than that, what you're doing is you are making yourself hear to something which you have said and something you strongly believe in. Because if you wouldn't strongly believe in it, you wouldn't teach it to someone, and you wouldn't expect somebody to learn that.
So in a way, what you're trying to do is I think it's the ultimate form of self-reflection. That's what teaching is.
Do you know who said this?
Somebody who understands and knows how to learn.
Yeah. So
who was that? I don't know.
Can you guess who this person is? Physics.
He seems to be a mathematician or a physicist.
Yeah, he's a physicist. He is the physicist. Richard Feynman.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah. Only someone like him only can say this, right? From
of course
deep realization, right? And I call them, people like them, as modern day saints.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it depends on the definition of saints, but if saints are people who can
see things,
try and propagate knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah.
So for sure.
Yeah. Such people are so close to the source of it all. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. They have tasted what is called divinity, right? They are part of the divine. I look at life that way.
Yeah. Although I haven't thought about it in that way, but if again the source of knowledge and people who propagate wisdom and knowledge are considered divine and they are saints, then we are on the same line of thinking. Yeah.
This is about Richard Feynman. You can read out, right? One of my professor mentors, when was an undergraduate, was in the same institute where Richard Feynman used to give lectures. One day at night, when he was passing by a lecture hall, he heard some noise coming from the classroom. He stopped, and by curiosity, he silently looked inside the room. He saw that there was no one in the room except Feynman, and he was giving a lecture on thermodynamics with full enthusiasm in the fully vacant hall. He stepped out without saying a word. And the second part of the story happens next day. On the next day, he sat on the class where Feynman was going to lecture. Feynman came as usual. After a while, he asked for the topic of the lecture from the full classroom more and more. After a while, a girl from the corner of the seat shouted, "Thermodynamics." Feynman said, "Okay, so our today's topic is nice, right?" So
Yeah.
he was a genius, actually. Soumya, I was talking about this being enlightened. Only an enlightened master can show you the way towards enlightenment, right? My guru says something about science, creation, and all. He talks about everything, actually. I'd like to share with you. He says something like this: pick up the law in nature. Law means how, why, and in what occurrence anything evolves in evolution in a scientific twinkle to uphold an affair. Do pick up the law that is laid in nature with keen, attentive observation and store it in thy experience. Use it intelligently for the welfare and existential curative remedy of people and creatures. Be blessed and let others be blessed. For the law is commune sense. So, could you make any meaning of this, or it is just a few random?
I think I can sort of pick up the overall air, but obviously this these paragraphs are very, very dense in that they have so much wisdom unpacked in them, so that it will take a bit of time for me to unravel the poem. But can I ask you, what is commune sense? What's that?
Yeah, good one.
Make of that?
Yeah, so at first glance, it might look like a common sense misspelled, right?
No, of course, it's something different.
Yeah, it is not that. Now, commune sense, like this is just a broken form of the word commune. You know the meaning of commune, right? Union.
Yeah, community,
No,
union,
not community.
Gathering,
Not community. Community is a different word. Commune.
Right.
A group of people connected to each other by a common goal, common purpose, common ideology, common vision.
Right.
So this word here, commune sense of being in a commune. And this commune is commune with the absolute. You remember during our school days, Miss, when you were here, we used to have random discussion on TOK topics. We used to discuss about one example of where a creator and creation is all the same with candle flame. You have one candle flame. If you consider that as creator, the first one, the source, from that candle flame, you can take multiple flames. So when all the flames are in full bloom, you cannot make out any difference which was the source and which came from that, right?
Right.
So they are all together at that time. You cannot make out which is smaller, which is bigger, right?
Right.
But if it
Yeah, I think I'll take a bit of time to understand that, but from what, so it's very much in the title, pick up the law in nature, and I think that title is more than enough to pretty much describe all kinds of wisdom in life, like literally all, because basically what has I'm a biologist, and I'll take a biology / evolutionary route to answering this question. So nature really has, what we are is because of nature. It's because of our interactions with the nature, the way we evolved, the way nature forced upon us some conditions, and the way we adapted to it. So it's sort of this camaraderie, and that very nice, sometimes not coordinated, sometimes very violent. But at the end of the day, we were moving forward through life from cavemen, where we had tails and we didn't know much, and our brains were very small. and we move through probably millions of years into now, where we are cognitively most advanced. That's why we have the biggest brains of probably all animals. And that is because I think we could wrestle with nature in the most respectable way. And also because, you only respect those who are respectable. So nature also respected us. And that was sort of reciprocity. And that's why I think we are here where we are. So, and also, pick up the law in nature. I think that also talks a lot about how the law of acceptance, really. Because, when there is a storm, you can't really stand outside and be like, change the storm. You have to obtain a shelter. So it's sort of trying to respect the laws of the nature in the sense that you maybe go inside your house when there's a storm. I'm not sure if it's making some sense. I'm just thinking through it. And when there's sunlight, you go outside and get vitamin D, so it benefits you. So, yeah, pick up the law in nature it's a very versatile statement, and everybody should absolutely pick up the law in nature, because that's where you will go places if you pick up the law in nature.
Yeah. Soumya, you spoke about reciprocity, and you also said that nature respects us. So it is our responsibility to respect nature in turn, right? And perhaps this is what we did not do, and that's why all these things are happening. Corona crisis, or whatever you may call it as, it was because of our utter disrespect towards the nature, right?
True. Yeah.
So
Probably,
yeah. So it was a wonderful experience having you on my show. But the show will go on.
Of course, it will go on. It should go on.
And so much to share, because we have been together for 4 years, not a small amount of time. We have been together in closed space, in physical proximity for 4 years. And viewers, it is my absolute pride and honor to get a chance to be with this young mind, fresh mind, and sharp mind. I don't know, I'm at loss of words.
Actually, it was fantastic. It was my great
all the best.
honor.
All the best.
I think of our conversation as sort of, we planted the seeds back in those days when I was between 9th to 12th grade.
Yeah.
And those seeds have sort of grown into little plants, yet to grow into a tree, but grown into a little plant since, I've lived life, I think, as fully as I can in these past 3 years after leaving school. And what our conversation is the manifestation and expression of those plants whose seeds were sown back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And Soumya, may I conclude with a final statement? What is coming in my mind right now? I'm picking up words from what you said. Let us take the pledge that we'll tread the journey from root to fruit. We'll take up the journey from root to fruit.
Good to truths.
No, from root to fruit.
From the root to truths. Yeah. Again, it's quite deep. It will take a while to unravel it, but
yeah,
sounds good. Absolutely.
We'll catch up once again sometime later, and meanwhile I'll compile the video and release it. So world premiere will happen sometime soon, maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow, right? So we're thankful to the unseen hand of God, maybe, for technically supporting us today, giving us uninterrupted experience for
yes, it's been fantastic. Yeah, it's been very smooth.
Sure.